And we should be live.
Yes, we are. Good evening, folks.
Woohoo!
All right, Will, it's your show.
Yep. What's going on, everybody? It's February 7th, 2020. Yep. We've been off for a couple weeks. And now we are back. What's going on? What's going on, George and Mike?
Hey, folks, MobileGeezer here.
Sorry.
By my background, I am almost finished moving, and I put Florida in the background. That Hard Rock guitar you see from the Hard Rock Casino, that's about 10 minutes from where I live. So I put all Florida background so you guys can see where I am. And it was 74 today, and it was 84 yesterday. And feeling pretty good, even though I had a long day at work today.
Meanwhile, back in Jersey.
Yeah.
Well, should I tell them what happened here today?
Yeah, go ahead.
It was 59, almost 60, and all of a sudden a storm blew in. Tornado warnings were at least where I was in Delaware and southern southeast Pennsylvania. It was rough there for a while, and then it got cold. It went from like 60 to it's like 39 right now.
Wow, that's quick.
Yeah, it's cold.
So,
no tornadoes, though, right, Mike?
Yes, there were. Wilmington and I guess it's Delaware County. You know, right on the Delaware border, Delaware and Pennsylvania border. I understand. Yeah, but just the way it was raining, and then all of a sudden the sun came out for like an hour and it got real warm. And man, all of a sudden, well, of course, your phone's blowing up. You know the storm warnings.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, what storm? And you can see in the distance, it got black. It was black. And I got on the computer and put it on the, looked up a radar, and you could see this perfect. It was like a snake. It just it curved, and it was like red and purple. It was bad coming at you.
That's scary stuff.
Yeah.
Although I have to say, some of the pictures you posted from work, I haven't seen you this happy in a long time.
Yeah, folks, I'll fill anybody in. I'm back at my old job, as I say, back in the saddle again, and it feels good.
Back in the saddle.
Okay.
Our friend is a friend. I couldn't.
Yeah. That one's a new one, George. I never heard that one before. So
that was from Gene Autry's television show back in the 50s.
So, but yep, I'm back, and I got a lot of work to do. The next few weeks are going to be kind of long and late. But once I get what I need to get done to that branch, then things will be back to a normal pace. You know what I mean?
But it's nice to see you looking happy again.
Yeah. It feels good. It feels good. So.
And my little update: I transferred with Enterprise from Tennessee to Florida. So this is the last day of my first week at work. I work 3 days a week, and 4:45, I was down delivering cars in Miami, and I didn't think I was going to make the show because we were in Miami rush hour traffic, and boy, that was fun.
Yeah, I was surprised to see you when you said that. I'm like, when I got on here on StreamYard, I'm like going, "Oh, he's here!" Hey,
Yeah,
the way you were talking, it sounded like you weren't going to make it.
That's what I told him. I was like, you just said you might not make it.
I guess I just love you guys too much.
Aw.
I think he was just playing, Mike. He knew he was going to make it.
I know.
Just a mushy old man.
I was
just
going
wanted to build suspense.
Yo, Will, I was going to say, listen. I was going to say, Papa ain't in the room. Now we got we're going to be in, we're in control of the house. You know what I mean?
He just wanted to build some suspense. That's all.
Yeah.
I guess I should acknowledge you. We got Jason C in here. We've got 6 in here.
Yeah.
Jason, too. We're all wondering where Nigel is. Adam
anybody seen Nigel?
Hey, Carol. Nice to see you. Hello from Florida. And Serrano's in here. Oh, yeah, Serrano's in here. Yo, Serrano. How are you, brother? All right, so we're good. As long as Mom's here, we're good. Thank you, Carol.
Yeah. Oh, there's Nigel. Hey, Nigel.
Oh, Nigel's okay. Good. We were all wondering where you were.
I want to just point out real quick that of all people, Jason beat everybody to the room.
Yeah, Jason was amazing.
I know. Thank you, Jason, for joining us. But I don't know, Jason knows the story. There's always a little contest between Nigel and Six, who gets in the room first. I always say the best seat in the house is get in here first. And
tonight we can say, Jason, you the man.
Yeah. He gets the best.
What is Jason saying? I'm just saying.
That's what yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Exactly.
He's not trying to rub it in. He's just saying.
Yeah, I want to say hi real fast, Mom Carol Dixon and my brother Adam. Thank you for popping in. Hello, Molly, which is my niece. So I had to say hi. And Molly's birthday was last week. We're going to get together for a party. She's all 5 years old.
Oh man, she's
young.
I wish my kids were 5.
Well, happy belated birthday, Molly.
So before the show started. Go ahead. You two talk first.
Before the show started, what were we talking about? Oh, Moto.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get that story up, and then you can share it the way you want.
Let's see what this is a last minute change in tonight.
I got it, George. The one from CNET, right? CNET.
Yeah. All right, I've got it shared if you want to share.
Okay, you got it.
You're gonna read it. You read it.
All right. This one is about from CNET about the new Moto G Power and G Stylus. Moto G Power and G Stylus. Surprise, Motorola released 2 new budget phones. We got our hands on with the new Moto G Power and its behemoth battery, and the Moto G Stylus, which is basically a budget Galaxy Note 10.
That's what I like hearing.
The Moto, well, you got the what's it called? The Note 10 Lite, something like that.
Yeah, but that's not here in the States.
Oh, it's not here at all. Okay.
No, I don't think it's. It doesn't seem like it's hitting the States at all.
Well, Moto's got this one. The Motorola Moto G family of phones has the history of finding that sweet spot between well-considered necessities and an affordable price. Over the past 3 years, the Moto G5 Plus, Moto G6, Moto G7, and Moto G7 showed us just how good budget phones can be. Last year, the budget landscape got more crowded when Google launched the Pixel 3a and 3a XL. And recently, there's been an uptick in rumors that Apple will release a budget iPhone 9, aka iPhone SE 2. So it's important for Motorola to keep pushing its G line of phones ahead. And to its credit, the Chicago-based company took a significant step forward Friday by launching 2 new editions for U.S. and Canadian customers: the $300 Moto G Stylus and the $250 Moto G Power. The phones aren't a radical reimagining of smartphone design like the Motorola Razr foldable phone, but after using both handsets for a few hours, it became obvious how many similarities the Moto G Stylus and G Power have. Both have a 6.4-inch full HD screen, and instead of a notch, the phones will have a punch-hole display for a selfie camera. It's similar to what Samsung did on its Galaxy phones in 2019. I can't wait to see what custom wallpapers people make up for that hole. Power-wise, each has a Snapdragon 665 processor, 4 gigs of RAM, and runs Android 10 with Moto's thoughtful extra touches. There's even a new gaming mode called Moto Game Time that limits distractions for a better mobile gaming experience. On the back is a fingerprint sensor, and on the front is a 16-megapixel selfie camera, and on the bottom is a headphone jack. There you go, Mike. The new phones lack the generational naming of the previous G phones. For example, the successor to last year's Moto G7 Power isn't the Moto G8 Power and is instead just the Moto G Power. There still isn't just a plain Moto G, aka Moto G8, to fill the hole between the Moto G8 Plus and Moto G8 Play that were released in October 2019 outside the US. Moto G Stylus is a lower-priced Galaxy Note. The most obvious difference between the two phones is that the Moto G Stylus has, a stylus, and the G Power doesn't. The stylus fits into the bottom right corner of the phone and hooks open easily with a fingernail. There are only a couple phones that come with a built-in stylus. Probably the best known one is the Galaxy Note 10, which costs more than 3 times as much. There's also the 2019 LG Stylo 5, which, like the Moto G stylus, costs $300, though you can find them on sale for half that or even less. Unlike the S Pen on the Galaxy Note 10, the Moto stylus doesn't connect with Bluetooth and relies solely on capacitive touch for interactions. When you pull the stylus out, you can set it to trigger the Notes app to open without unlocking your phone, or have it open a stylus menu with shortcuts. The Notes app is pretty basic, but you can create drawings, write notes, or just doodle. For years, Motorola has had a camera feature called Cinematograph that allows you to record a video and then choose parts of the video to remain static. If you've ever been on Instagram, you have most likely seen an ad that does something similar. You can use the stylus to shade out parts of the video with much more precision than you can using your finger. The stylus can also be used to navigate the phone, mark up screenshots, and edit photos. I hope Motorola creates more unique and fun ways to take advantage of the stylus. The Moto G stylus has a triple rear camera. There's a 48 megapixel main camera, which combines groups of 4 pixels to create a 12 megapixel photo. The idea is to help improve image sharpness and brightness. There's also a 16 megapixel ultra wide action camera and a built-in macro camera that lets you get as close as 2 centimeters, which is just under an inch, to your subject.
That's pretty cool.
The G stylus has 128 gigs of storage and a 4,000 milliamp battery that Motorola claims will last 2 days of regular use on a single charge. The Moto G Power has a behemoth battery. If you're looking for even more battery life than the G stylus offers, then you should consider the Moto G Power. It packs a 5,000 milliamp hour battery that Motorola claims can last over 3 days of regular use after a single charge. The G Power also has a 64 gigs of storage and a triple rear camera. There's a 16 megapixel main camera and an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera and a built-in macro camera. Obviously, not all cameras are equal, and more cameras doesn't necessarily mean better photos. Both phones will be available this spring, unlocked, and we look forward to testing out the cameras, the batteries, and the stylus once we get our hands on them again.
Okay,
so
I think I'm about halfway convinced that rather than go for any expensive phones coming out, I may have to go for this.
Now, earlier, Will was saying, well, it's going to have, what software does it have?
Right.
So,
it does say it has the somewhere in here it said it had a like you said, well, something like a suite for the stylus, right?
It's like I said, Mike, like we were talking about. It's gonna be like Bear, like it's gonna be have a notes app. Like they said, a drawing.
It shows on the website it's using Google Keep right now.
That's great.
Yeah, but Google Keep is just a regular app, so it's just gonna be more. I don't know. I guess. I mean, for $300, I guess you can't complain, but.
Well, plus the fact that a lot of people would like it to have Google Keep rather than its own, don't you think?
But on the Note, you can't draw on Google Keep.
Well,
you can. Right?
Well, they integrated the software where the person's writing the word eggs, they're making a shopping list, and it added to the Google Keep list. What are you laughing at again?
I'm laughing because it's funny, but that's what we were talking about.
But wait, what?
Remember, we were talking about that. We were saying before we went on, I was telling you, I said it's going to either be stock Android or they're going to add bloat to it. I guess they're not adding no bloating, pretty much.
Right.
They're just going to let you. So it's going to be. Mike, it's going to be like you're going to be able to edit photos with the pen, and then you can just draw on the screen. Right.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you can also you can also add download. You can download certain apps that would work with the pen. Could you not? Wouldn't you want to choose what apps you want instead of having, LG bloat that comes in LG silo, or even a Samsung device?
$300. The software will be Android 9.5. So.
No. Wait, refresh my memory. Gary Brown, he's a pixel pixel only, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I can only see the next Pixel is going to have a stylus.
Google's not. Listen, Mike. Dude, while you think a stylus is more fun, however they put it, they're not beat for the stylus. They got to work on the camera first.
Plus the fact, if it's a Pixel, it's Google, and Google does not have that much style.
Man, it's been a while.
Yeah, Google's not doing the stylus. They got to worry about the wide angle lens. They got to do the wide angle lens first.
Yeah, eventually, yes.
Yeah, they're going to tell you, oh, this is better, you know. So 9.5. Wow. But you know what?
I mean,
for
Mike,
Jason,
it's nice. It's good though. But I mean, because it's cheap. But
look at Jason's comment. Jason has Moto's going to make the LG Stylo irrelevant, and for him to say that, I'm impressed. I thought,
and I kind of agree with him because remember. What got people excited with the Stylo was the LG Stylo 4. Then last year they came out with the Stylo 5, and that
which is
a big disappointment to everybody.
Everybody, yeah, it was no difference. There was no difference at all. Look, guys. Also, don't forget. I think, in the past, the Stylo always used I felt subpar for it in the 400 series chipset. I don't care what anybody said. I've gotten a bad taste for the 400 series chipset that was in my wife's, and for them to come out with a 655, at least he kept it in the 600 range. I always thought the 600's processors were power efficient and great.
I agree.
And the 670 and the 3A here this has been my driver, and I'm quite happy with it. Let's see.
And I'm still using my Moto G7 Plus, and it still runs great. Matter of fact,
did you get 10?
On here, I haven't had it on. I need to turn it on to find out. I don't think I did, but I've been planning to do a G-Cam with the Moto G7 Plus against the OnePlus 7 Pro for 3 weeks, but I've been moving. So tomorrow, I'm going to go out and shoot that. I'm turning it on to find out whether I have 10. I'm thinking I don't have 10. I'll let you know in a minute. But anyway, I still love my Moto G7 Plus, and I'm probably going to have to pick up the stylus because it's a heck of a lot cheaper than buying anything else at the moment for me.
I'm just wanting to know what generation, because some of these phone manufacturers have been sneaky, and they have been putting older chipsets. You know, like what comes to mind is the Nokia came out with Nokia 7.2. And they turn around and they use a 2-year-old chip. And the
7.1 had a higher chipset.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and which I have here. Yeah.
But meanwhile, we'll never convince Will until about 3 months from now. He'll be back on Android. Right now, he's all about
Mike,
Apple.
Hold on, Mike. Let me show you.
Oh no. Let me see. Let me get my screen up.
Go,
okay, what do you got? What do you got?
Sent it to you.
Where?
I just come into your iPhone.
Yeah, and the one that only shows green bubbles now.
G7 Plus still on Android.
You see that, Mike? No stylus necessary.
Right without stylus. What'd you use? Your nail?
Nah, I didn't want to damage the folding screen.
George, Will's gone deep. He's going.
No, I'm just saying. Deep. No, listen, because
he ain't coming back. He claims
it's $300, but I mean, I don't know. I couldn't. I don't know.
I guess,
if I'm gonna get a stylus, I want a Newt then, because I want to be able to have all the extra stuff, even though I might not use it. I don't want to just be able to write on it. I use my finger. I use my finger for that.
It would be good for me. Yeah.
That's a 665, right? The Snapdragon.
I believe so. Let me go see if I can. Oh wait, it should tell us right here. I'm still searching around.
Well, I know George is getting it. Mike, are you getting it?
You know what came to mind? Mom.
Gary said LG made it irrelevant. Wow.
You're not supposed to use Carol as your guinea pig, Mike.
No, mom. No. Mom's been telling me that she's been having battery problems with her
really?
original Pixel. Yeah, and considering it's the original Pixel, and as it was, I think it was a scratch and dent I got from
Woot or somewhere. Woot, I think you got
Woot or Daily Steels, I think it was. And that,
3.5 years now, right?
Yeah, it's been
that's 2016, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
And I think this is back. Wow, this is not 2019, 2018. I think she got it.
Okay.
Whenever I did that one stream from the beach house, that's when Mom got it.
Oh, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. That's when Mom got it. Yeah.
She's due for one.
Yeah, I've been kicking around at getting her the Pixel 3, the Pixel 3A, but okay, here we go. But anyway, now with this, I don't know, the stylus, I think it's going to be good, and 128 gigs memory.
Yeah,
I thought it was 60. It's 128. I thought it was 60.
No, 64 is only in the power.
Okay.
A little side note: the Moto G stylus is coming to Metro by T-Mobile with the triple cameras. Yes.
Yeah. It's a G-Styles 128 gig, 4,000 milliamp battery.
Mm-hmm. And it just it says here, Qualcomm. I'm just reading an article from April of 2019. Was when it announced the 665, 730, and 730G. So it's just under a year ago this chipset's out, which is fine.
Yeah, and I have another phone with the 665, and it's been running great. I don't remember which one.
Yeah. I've been a fan of the 6 series since before the 625. There was another one in a Moto phone, and then when they put the 625 in the Moto G5 Plus on the one I had, that was dynamite. That thing was just a powerhouse, and it broke my heart to get rid of it. But
Okay.
Oh yeah, Jason's comment. I love it. Yeah. Yeah. Meanwhile, they got the Apple Pencil for their iPads.
But for the iPad, but not on a phone.
Don't worry, it'll be
the Apple iPhone isn't. They're not putting the stylus on.
Yeah, okay.
Mike, they're not going to cannibalize the iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
They won't.
Right. They won't. George, what do you think? 3 months, he'll be back in.
Mike, wait. Mike, hold on. Mike, listen. Mike, wait. Mike, I'll do the bet. Mike, listen. We're gonna do the bet again, but we're not going to Red Robin. We're not going to Red Robin.
Oh, where are you buying my lunch this time?
We gotta go somewhere else. We can go to Five Guys.
Really?
Yeah, Five Guys is better than Red Robin.
No, you know what? A good burger place was over here on Township, across from the high school.
All right, we can go
bar.
there. How many?
Bar.
When are we saying? You pick the date.
All right. First of all,
what do you think, George? Help me out here. Let's
define the bet first.
The bet is Mike thinks I'm going to be back on Android.
By you see the OnePlus.
Nope.
He'll ride this pony hard.
Pick a date, Mike. Pick a date.
Pick a date. Well, wait a minute. How can I pick a date if OnePlus pushes their phone back past the date?
Yeah, well, it's not just OnePlus. The S20 comes out in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that's a whole phone.
Yeah, that's too. That'll be teasing you. And go, I got a deal. You right, George? I got a deal.
All right.
They already Samsung already emailed me.
So same here.
Hey, they emailed me too. I saw it too.
All right. I'll say. Let me see. What do you think? June 1st, George. What do you think?
All right, June 1st. June 1st.
What's that?
I agree with you 100%. By June 1st.
June 1st. Okay, that gives you 4 months. Okay. All right.
So I think he's a closet Android guy. To be honest with you, because I'm telling you, he's making my phone go green bubble on me.
Oh yeah, that's RCS. That's RCS interfering.
RCS interfering. Oh my god.
That's RCS. That's
Turn off the heater.
RCS getting in the way.
Get hot in this room.
George, is this is next up? What you got in there?
What's that?
Whenever you're ready. Am I reading?
This is next up, right? You have froze, George. Mike, is he froze for you?
Yeah. Yeah, he's freezing up there.
All right, you ready, George?
Yeah, I just have a patent application.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm ready.
All right. Okay. Okay.
Let me see here.
Okay.
Patent application shows Apple Watch with digital crown. Here's the diagram of many people. Apple patent application published today shows that Apple is embedding a touch ID made back in 2015 and granted the Apple Watch 2018, but only patent language.
I just
George, is your Wi-Fi switch?
No.
You're like choppy now. You were doing fine, and then it went. You were fine
Yeah,
all the way up until
your
time to read.
I'm just
Nothing changed as far as I know. How is it now?
Now you're fine. Now you're fine.
Yeah, it was weird.
You start reading, it gets choppy.
Okay, nothing that I know. All right, so I'm going to continue on. Is that okay?
Yeah. I just want to catch your attention, let you know.
All right.
Okay. All right, I'm going to this lower paragraph that I'm in.
All right.
And this is still from the patent language in the application. It later gets a little more specific. The features that are analyzed may include features of a user's skin, e.g., fingerprints, hair follicles, or any other optically detectable feature, texture, surface irregularity, image, or the like of any object. In this way, the device may be responsive to skin, e.g., the skins of a user's finger or hand, a stylus, a glove finger, or any other suitable object with optically detectable features. As used herein, analysis of an image by an image sensor and or other components of an electronic device may refer to an analysis of a stored image, e.g. the stored multi-dimensional array, which may be a digital photograph or video. But the patent illustrations make clear the thinking here, that the digital crown could read a fingerprint and compare it to a stored image, aka act as a touch ID sensor. Currently, there are two ways to unlock an Apple Watch: entering a PIN on the touchscreen or unlock your iPhone, which also unlocks the paired watch. An Apple Watch with Touch ID would be more convenient than either. I agree. There have been suggestions that Apple plans to return to Touch ID in future, not with phones, either with the sensor embedded beneath the display or the power button. I think that's a very good idea. What do you think?
Well, it proves one thing. I think personally, the whole thing is it proves that the Face ID thing isn't not everybody's piece of cake.
Yeah.
You think so? I don't think that's what it is. I think
why? Wait a minute. Let me just say this. Why is the rumor so strong saying that the new iPhone SE2 is going to have a button?
Because, of course, because
what do you mean, of course?
Because Face ID is more expensive than putting in a fingerprint sensor.
Yes, it is a lot more.
The SE2 is just going to be cheaper. They're going to imagine if they price that phone at $500.
So why not have a cheap Apple Watch?
They do. The Apple Watch is $200. You can get an Apple Watch. You can get an Apple Watch and let's say they make that phone and price it at $200. You can get it. That's 7. You figure $800 if you add tax.
I don't want to has been.
Mike, listen,
watch.
Mike.
I don't want to. No, there has been. I want the newest technology.
Mike, all you're missing is
at the cheap.
Mike, it's not Android. Mike, it's not Android. They all get updates.
Exactly.
You'll get an Apple Watch Series 3 brand new for $199, and you can get, let's say they price that phone at $500, you'll pay $7.
Android stuff messing with this.
Like the old man wears right now, okay? I don't think that's what Mike's talking about.
But yeah, I think it's just because they want to make it easier to get into the watch. That's all.
Yeah, I agree.
If they put a fingerprint sensor on the side of the end of the crown, that'll be crazy.
And Face ID.
Because think about it, Mike. If you're not home, let's say you have the cellular version of the watch.
Okay.
You're in the gym or whatever, and you don't got to type in your PIN number. You just put your finger on it.
Right.
That's convenient.
I think that's a great idea.
So why not put a fingerprint sensor under the screen on the next Apple phone?
Because Face ID is better.
Face ID works beautifully on the iPhone.
Face ID is perfect.
Yes, it is. I agree.
If you got a glove on your hand, you can't use the fingerprint sensor.
Right.
Face ID works. You can have your hat on. You can have your hat off.
The work that T-Mobile gave us that's supposed to work with phones, it works about half the time, really.
Face ID works, man. You've never used Face ID. That's why.
Yeah, see,
Mike's on an 8+.
Yeah. Face ID on this thing is dead on perfect all the time. I can tell you for a fact.
Yeah, the fact that you can pick up your phone and look at the screen and it shows you your notifications and
Wow, actually, man, he's jumping all over. He said the Face ID is 10 times better. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm being old fashioned too.
Mike, you gotta get with the times, right? Well, 6 is right, except when it's on the table. That's the only.
Well, that's true. But I'm in total darkness and put up the screen, and the screen has enough light to unlock my face, even in the dark.
It just worked. No problem.
What just worked?
My fingerprint sensor.
Oh yeah, but that's the same, Mike. But that's the same as Face ID. You got to pick it up off the table.
Exactly.
You still got to pick it up. It's the same.
Anyway,
and Mike, hold on. Now, Mike, if you say you can put the PIN number on Android, you got to push Enter at the end after you type the 4. After you type the 4 numbers.
Well, not at all Android.
I never understand that. Oh, it's not for all of them, George.
No.
Every Android I use, when I type in a PIN, I gotta push Enter.
OnePlus, I don't have to hit Enter. I just put the PIN in.
I hate that. That's so dumb.
Well, let me ask you real quick. On Face ID for a phone that you're not unlocking, you just got done a reboot. Do you still want the PIN then?
When you reboot, you got to put the PIN.
Yes, always. Yes.
Yeah. When you reboot, you got to put the PIN.
You'll never use Face ID. I'm going to put you in a timeout. Well, you'll have to ask Will. He's in charge tonight.
Mike, you gotta use Face ID. You gotta try it, Mike. Look, you gotta get an iPhone 11.
I'm getting any day. I'm going to get a call from T-Mobile saying, "Hey, we want this back." So I really do any day.
And then go get an 11, Mike. Go get an 11 Pro.
The quickest and best way to unlock a phone that I've ever seen.
Go get an 11 Pro, Mike.
I want to. I really do.
11 is great as it is.
Or you can get an 11. You still get the wide angle camera.
I want the Pro, but I'm also being cheap. And that's why I even
get the 11.
Yeah, I know.
I never buy the Pro.
You can get a red 11, Mike.
I know I can.
There
you go.
I know.
I'm all ready.
Now, George, is that the product red one?
Yeah, that's the product red.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it might have been a different
George, George, whose case is that on
there? Which case is this? This is not UAG. Tudia.
Tudia came out with a clear case for it.
No, it's not Tudia. I don't even remember whose case it is.
I was just curious. That's pretty good. Yeah.
I get most of my cases from UAZ and 2D, but this one is not either one, and I can't remember which one it is. Sorry.
Hey, Will, does Schnell make cases for 11?
I don't think he has them for iPhone. I think he just does Samsung.
I haven't found anything on his website.
I don't think he likes iPhones. I forget. I asked him before. I don't think he makes cases.
I think he made cases for his iPhones.
I don't know.
I guess I got to take the next story. I was going to Google it.
I'm going to. This is the Android Authority of Huawei. Yes. All right. Well.
Yeah.
I'm just opening it up now. I can get it shared.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, Will, you're right. The Schnell line is nothing but Android.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
and the Pixel. He said the Pixel 10.
The other company he has Armadillo Tech. Maybe he has them there.
Mike, they said the Pixel 10. That's when they'll get Google and get it right. with face unlock.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Whenever you guys are ready, I've got it.
Let's see. What are we doing? The Android Authority one?
Yes.
Okay. I don't get this. I don't get this whole thing, but I read it and I'm like, oh,
it's very vague, I think. But go ahead and let the people hear it.
Yeah. Huawei launches a lawsuit against Verizon. Update: Verizon responds. Dun, dun, dun. Update: February 6, 2020, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ticker in the background.
Yeah, right.
Verizon Wireless has issued its response to Huawei's lawsuit against the carrier. Since the statement is so brief, we will post it in full. Huawei's lawsuit, filed overnight in a very early morning, is nothing more than a PR stunt. This lawsuit is a sneak attack on our company and an entire tech ecosystem. They have an ecosystem. Anyway, Huawei's real target is not Verizon. It is any country or company that defies it. The action lacks merit, and we look forward to vigorously defending ourselves. Original article, February 2nd, 2020 at 10:06.
Thank you.
February 6th, 2020, 10:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Huawei is making an illegal action against its U.S. mobile carrier for the unauthorized use of several of its patents, according to Reuters. Huawei claims Verizon illegally used as many as 200 patents. That's a lot of patents. But the company has enough evidence on 12 of them to launch a strong lawsuit. Excuse me. The patents in question cover areas like computer networking, video communication, and download security. The two companies held 6 face-to-face meetings over the alleged illegal patents used since February 2019, but did not reach an agreement. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Huawei cannot prove an exact figure in its compensation for until it has fully broken down how Verizon has profited from using these alleged patents, as well as compensation for existing profits. The Chinese manufacturer is asking Verizon to fork over royalty payments if it chooses to keep using these patents. More news. Verizon products and services have benefited from patented technologies that Huawei developed over many years of research and development, said Huawei's chief legal office in a statement. Huawei is simply asking for Verizon to respectfully Huawei's investment in research and development by either paying for those use of our patents or refraining from using them in its product and services. See, Verizon's wireline segment which covers voice, data, and video communication products, pulled in $29.8 billion. That's a B with a billion in revenue in 2018. So Huawei could make a sizable profit from its lawsuit if these allegations are true. It seems it may be some time before the courts come to conclusion on this, especially since Huawei's legal team already has its hands full with the U.S. trade ban.
So a couple of things here. On the one hand, it's pretty vague because they can't provide an exact figure for what they want from Verizon for compensation. They're not even defining exactly what they're accusing Verizon of. But since they say the patents cover computer networking, well, who's the worldwide leader in computer networking? Well, it's Huawei. So it may have merit or not, but it's pretty vague stuff if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just they're just seeing what, stick on the wall.
It's like they're throwing stuff up against the wall. I agree. And maybe trying to scare Verizon into giving them something. That's what it sounds like.
So, typical. It's almost typical of Huawei. You know what I mean?
Well, Verizon is saying that Huawei is going to try to bully anybody who doesn't do what they want. That's what they're saying. And even despite the U.S. ban, Huawei is killing it around the world.
You know what, George? I was listening to Android Central the other day. We had Jerry and somebody else on. Jerry, the regular three. And he was just like, that's what they were saying. And they kept saying, yeah, Huawei's selling. And he was like, don't believe it.
Jerry said that? I missed that.
He was like, don't believe that they're selling phones without Google services on them.
Oh, without but worldwide, aren't they kind of, well, yeah, you've got a point there. They're killing it
because they were talking
ban, but after the ban, there's no Google service.
They were talking about how they were. There was like that thing where they had. I don't know if you've seen it. There was an article that came out, and then Huawei, I think, went back and said there wasn't. They didn't say that. Where they said that they wouldn't go back to Google services even if the ban was lifted.
Well, there's a story that came out yesterday that I didn't get a chance to read yet that said the Chinese companies in general are all going to try to get away from Google services. So I don't know what that's about yet. But I was thinking Huawei would have to be leading that, wouldn't you think? And plus the fact, what's the world's biggest mobile market? Well, it's China. Well, where do they not use Google services at all? In China. So sure, Huawei can make a lot of money in China.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Huawei does make good phones, but I think people do want Google services.
I think any place outside of China, you're probably right.
Yeah.
But that's the world's biggest market, so they're going to make a lot of money whether or not they have it. But will they make it in Europe? Because Huawei was doing really well in Europe, but without Google services, I agree with you. People are going to want that.
Yeah. Nobody's going to want the hassle of having to download.
Yeah, and all kinds of side loading and crap like that.
Yeah, Jason said they want to create their own app store.
They've been trying to, and I don't see. Do you see them succeeding at that compared to Google?
They have to get so many developers on board. That's the problem.
Exactly. That's always been. Hey, wasn't that Microsoft's problem for years?
Yeah, that's the thing. But I don't know. Like you said, Huawei might be a little different because they have China, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I think for a company, you got to be like in India or somewhere, and you got to have cheap phones. You know what I mean? You got to.
Yeah. If Huawei could sell well in both China and India, then I think they could say screw everybody else. But I think in India they probably want Google services too. Is my guess.
Yeah. Who doesn't want Google services? I got an iPhone and I use Google services.
Exactly. I use them too. You're absolutely right. You know, hey, where do I read my notes on my iPhone? On Google Keep, of course.
Well, check out here, Android Stud. Android Stud in the room. Potty people are here. Well, that's no thank.
Instead, I now live about 15 minutes above you. I live in Pembroke Pines.
So, Will's got to do a double. Everybody feel for Will.
No, I don't. I'm not doing a double.
No, what do you call it? You got to work Saturday and Sunday.
I got to work Saturday, Sunday. I ain't doing double. Don't wish that on me, Mike. Don't wish that on me.
Well, I said
think my doubles are done.
Did I say it was? Oh, that's right. You were making overtime so you can go get your S20. That's right.
yeah. Okay. My days of doubles are done.
A long time for you. You were doing doubles there for months and months at a time.
Yeah, I was, but not no more. Not when it's just me on the floor.
And Leo, you're welcome to come over anytime. Shoot me a message and we can get together anytime you want. I still have your address, so I can drive to your house on my motorcycle or my car. All right, we ready for the next one?
Yeah, I just saw. I didn't see the story. Another Moto product.
Oh yeah, you see that?
Yeah, I'm all ready whenever you are, Will.
There we go.
Go for it.
So 9 to 5 Google. Will, this is you, right?
Oh, all right, I got it. Hold on. Let me see. All right, here we go. The first details of Moto's 2020 flagship leak with 90 hertz waterfall display. Mike is all over this.
Yeah.
Motorola has plans to re-enter the premium smartphone space sometime in 2020, but we don't know much about what the company has in store for this year aside from the Moto G8 series and Razr. Now, leaked photos are showing off a presumed Motorola flagship device with a fancy display and 5G connectivity. According to information obtained by XDA, there are 2 upcoming Motorola phones to keep an eye out for, Razr and Burton. The former of the 2 is pictured in this article and apparently will be a more mid-range model. The device will include a Snapdragon 765, 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of... 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, and a 4,660 milliamp battery, and possibly be marketed as the Motorola One 5G. As for Burton, this could be Motorola's coming flagship device. Less is known about it, but this device will apparently include a Snapdragon 865 processor, up to 12 gigs of RAM, a 5,170 milliamp hour battery, and may be called the Motorola One 2020 or Motorola Edge Plus. The names, unfortunately, are very unclear at this time, but Evan Blass found evidence of the Edge Plus name last month. What's that? The most notable detail we know for now, though, applies to both phones. On Motorola's flagship and this more mid-range model, there will be a curved 90 hertz display at FHD+. It's not confirmed if this is an OLED or LCD panel, but it has a hole punch for the front-facing camera and measures in at 6.67 inches. Interestingly, Motorola is also opting for a waterfall-style display, which we've seen on a few devices released in 2019. Personally, I'm not a fan.
It's unclear.
It's unclear when these Motorola phones will come to market, but it's going to be interesting seeing the company back in the flagship space after being absent for a few years.
As far as the waterfall display, as much as I love my OnePlus 7 Pro, that edges, it's a pain in the butt sometimes.
Yeah.
So me being
I
a flat
without it.
Yeah, but I still love my phone, so I can't complain. Anyway, so what do you think, Mike?
I think it's the end of the Moto mods. That's just going to kill it right there.
Well,
that's for sure.
Yeah.
I think there finally something happened over there because I think we're going to see a change. I think the G line's going to go through a shift. I don't think you're going to, the G, they got to still call it a Moto G because that sells in South America.
Well, the side is going to be a G, right?
I'm sorry?
The stylo is going to be a G, right?
Yeah, it's going to be. It's so funny that you got your G, man. Yeah, I think it's going to be or it's interesting. They got the G8 now, but it's not here in the States. So they roll out this other one, this G Stylist and the G Power.
Right.
Obviously, they're making phones for two different markets, possibly.
They're targeting specifically.
And now this one here with this Moto 1 5G, right, and the other Moto phones that you're referring to, is obviously they're trying to go upscale somewhat. But I wonder if they're going to target like OnePlus in their price range. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could be right. If they're coming with a flagship, that would be kind of the obvious one to go after, wouldn't you think?
Right. Yeah. No word on.
You don't think it's going to be like a Verizon exclusive?
Oh yeah, Verizon.
If they do the 5G,
that's going to be Verizon. Yeah.
I got to agree with Jason. If they're under 1K, for a 5G phone, that might work.
No IP rating, no mention about IP rating, no mention about wireless charging. Did they say no?
No.
See, that's going to be a game changer if they brought to the table something like that, and then still price it in the OnePlus range. Yeah, that's obviously we're going for the throat there.
And you say price it in the OnePlus range. Are you talking about the OnePlus McLaren edition? Because that's
I'm talking OnePlus 8. Whatever.
Okay. I'm agreeing with Jason, because if they come with a price under 1,000 and it's 5G, well, they've already got OnePlus B on the price.
So it's going to be an interesting, Moto's got to bring it. They got to push it. They got to get the word out on it too. I saw the Moto commercials during the Super Bowl and leading up to the Super Bowl, which I fell out of my chair. I'm like going for the Razr. I'm like, what?
And now we're already getting the bad stories about the Razr.
Yeah, I know. But hey, listen, if you're going to get your flex on, you just once in a while open it. Look at this. Oh, limit. Please don't close it. Don't open it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Ladies with the nails, just give it to your man. He'll demonstrate it for you. Okay, keep the nails over there. All right.
That was
Mike. You know what? I was cracking up when I saw that thing with that phone, because I said, wouldn't Pat would tear that up, wouldn't she?
Oh yeah.
I was cracking up. I said, "Oh, nails." I said, "Yeah, that would not work for her."
No. So
yeah, that's terrible.
Oh, gee, Tesla. Wow, that's a cool. That would be crazy. Nah, I don't see them getting with that, but that would be something. You got the McLarens on that side of the Moto G Tesla.
Tesla would be a little.
Yeah, but I think it'll be a Moto something other than a G. You know what I mean? Yeah. Moto something. One of the flagship. That'd be crazy. And look at this spec. One thing about this spec that caught my eye. I mean, the size of the phone, 6.67. I mean, that's a big phone. And then you still got, they jammed 4,600, I'm rounding, 4,600 milliamp battery. I mean, wow. When did you ever think you would hear a battery that big?
Yeah, and 128 gigabytes of RAM is not bad. And the Snapdragon 765 is no slouch to the processor either.
No, I know. So
I'm Mike, you gotta start saving.
Because I'm going to be on the stylo, but Mike, you should definitely go for it.
He will.
Before June? Before June? Is that
what
you're saying?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Before June. Definitely before June, Mike. You'll be all over. You'll be all over it, Mike.
I agree with Will on this one. So.
Well, this one now, the stylus one, I really want to.
George, that's for you right there, because you got a 3A. Is that the same processor?
Yes.
Which one is it?
765. He said, isn't it in the Pixel 3A?
Yeah. And it runs like a dream.
No, but no. What, the Pixel 3A?
Yeah.
670. 670.
670. Wait, let me go look it up. Make sure.
Yeah, 670. Sure. Yeah, no, they didn't. That everybody was hoping for at least a 710. They were talking about putting in. See what else is here. I don't want to close that window because we're talking about what's this other one here.
Yeah, you're right. Snapdragon 670.
670. Right. Yeah. Oh, Galaxy Watch, huh?
Oh, that's the next story?
Yeah, I just was looking to see what was the next story. You know, I was talking to Will about this, about the watch, and the one thing
that's why I put that in there, because I know you were looking at watches all you recently.
Mm-hmm. Can I want to just say I got I picked up the Moto. God, you got me saying Moto. Oh my God. I picked up the Fossil Sport Watch.
Oh, you did? I didn't know.
$99. $99.
When did you get that?
Where? I got this one at Best last Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I picked it up. George, I did a video. I actually did a video while I'm driving home talking about the watch and talking about smart things.
Okay.
And
yeah, I haven't had time to go to the move. I haven't had time to watch it.
I'm sorry. I just got notification from Telegram that I guess they're going to do 10 o'clock Team 100 tonight. But that's the thing. That's been great. This is the great thing I like about it. I was getting, I could get it on an Apple Watch, but just the notifications. I was answering some calls on it, and but everybody complained about. Everybody was real brutal about the battery on it. Here it is. What time is it? 9 o'clock, and I'm just now at 52% power juice.
That doesn't sound bad.
No.
So how would you compare with other Android Wear watches?
I don't know. I had the other Fossil watch.
Okay.
What was that watch called, Will?
What?
Sort of the G, Granite or I had the 5th gen,
you had that for like 2 weeks or like a week.
Yeah, and I returned it only because, one, I was afraid I was going to break it because of what I do,
right.
and two, I really didn't give the OS a chance. And this one, I said for $99, if I break it, all right, I'm out $100. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
my feeling
the OS isn't as bad as I thought. It isn't an Apple Watch also. Right.
But you sound like you're liking it better.
I'm liking it more than I was. I was very apprehensive. Okay. What was it? Alter Tech did a great video on getting the bloat off. I don't feel, I don't feel the it's great for him. I even said that in my video. If I want to brick it, then I'll try it.
Hold on. Let me see.
What's up?
My fault. I'm reading the comments. Carl. Let me see. Keep going, Mike. I gotta find Carl.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But anyway, what we were talking about? We were talking about Moto phones. I think the Moto, the Moto stylus. I'm calling it stylo still.
I think it's called the Moto G Stylo, isn't it?
G Stylo, yeah. I think that's the one I'll be getting.
I'm thinking that's my next one too.
Yeah. But by the way, oh man, I'm all over the road. I got my wife the Galaxy Fit,
right?
And she's liking that. She's liking that. It's small, but I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to teach her all the things with all the things that can do, and I still gotta fine tune it. Also, there's different widgets you can put in it and all. So,
and that is a good watch. I had it last year, and she liked it.
Yeah, I want to try. I want to try the Samsung watch, the Active 2 soon.
Yeah, I've never tried a Galaxy Watch myself.
I paired this watch with my Pixel,
right? And
I'll get the Samsung watch with my S9.
Okay.
So, sorry, Will.
I'm ready with the next story whenever you want. And Mike, since you're talking about the Galaxy, do you want to take that next story, or you want me to take
Sure, I'll take it. Here, let me get myself centered up. Take a swig of
On
water.
it's on AndroidBoost.com.
Oh, wow. Okay. This is news to me, too. I did not know this. Are we ready?
Yep.
Galaxy Watch and Watch Active pick up an assortment of new features. And this is February 6th, so that was only yesterday.
Yesterday, yep.
Cool. Let's see here. Update February 6th at 6:12, referring to T-Mobile and Verizon. So I'm assuming the LTE variant. Samsung watches are popularly associated with their rotating bezels, but Galaxy Watch Active came out with a inert glass bezel, embracing a monumental design shift from to some users' dismay. It is a unappreciative follow-up met halfway with a new touch bezel that emulates its mechanical peer using haptic vibrations. Turns out you can get this interactive bezel on the original Active Watch. An update is already underway to enable it. And there's a graphic there showing you, I guess, all the nice. Man, it's tiny.
Is that the change log?
Yeah, yes, yeah, the change log. I'm trying to make it for us people.
It's center right as Galaxy Watch.
I'm not going to read it all, but I was curious myself.
Touch bezel allows users to mimic the experience of a rotary bezel in digital, which allows for easier navigation and control. Watch faces, additional watch complications. New watch face, I guess it's called My Style. Additional indicator feature to show which watch is in the watch face to show background running apps such as workout tracking or timer. Additional emoticons to provide a variety of skin tones. Samsung Health improvements, lap time tracking, data sync via NFC. New Bixby help something. There's a lot of stuff. New Bixby helps with tasks.
Yeah, I got an update on my S9 is saying it's got a new version.
Always on display mode is easier to read while charging or in battery saving.
They threw a lot in here.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, Mike.
Okay, well, I'll read the bigger words. Let's see, a bunch of other features from the newer model are also trickling down to the Galaxy Watch Active and the Galaxy Watch. With the latest update installed, both wearables will offer you a new selection of watch face complications. Besides a feature called My Style, it basically lets you create a custom watch face matching your outfit. Okay, just by adding a picture of your clothing in the companion app. Last year's Galaxy Watch will also be getting an enhanced version of Bixby that was previously made available for Watch Active users. The update weighs in at 91.1 megabytes for the Watch Galaxy Watch Active and 117.18 megabytes for the Galaxy Watch. Samsung has already began rolling out these versions gradually across its global markets, but you might have to be patient for a bit for the updates to hit your watch. Now it goes into the T-Mobile and the Verizon here. The Galaxy Watch variants on T-Mobile and Verizon are now receiving the same updates more than 2 months after the unlocked models did. Both the feature lists of the downloaded size haven't changed much. Haven't changed at all that much compared to the previous rollout. You be getting a handful of new watch faces along with access to Bixby 2.0 and other improvements, activity tracking. The update is now hitting both 42 and 46 millimeter variants of the watch in the US. Thanks, Juan Moshe. And I guess, yeah.
Now, Mike, there you go. There's another watch for you to think about.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Now, since we're talking about Galaxy, we got one more person that wants to come on. Maybe he's got some previews and some cases for us. We got Carl.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
Hey, Carl.
What's going on, Carl?
Hi, sir.
Carl.
Hey, guys. Yeah,
Hey.
I'm driving.
Oh, you're driving.
Carl, be safe, man.
What's going on, man?
Yo.
Yeah, that's no cop. Don't worry about me.
I hope you got your mount. I hope your phone is mounted.
Yeah.
I use my hand. Look,
Oh,
There you
man.
go.
it's like
He's a very handy guy.
Oh,
I'm
God.
gonna eat Suburban, so I'll be fine.
Yeah. How's the cases coming along? They look good. I seen the pictures you posted on Twitter.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, they look nice, man.
Carl, do you do any cases for iPhones?
What?
You do any iPhone cases?
Now the new company don't do iPhone cases. The old company, yes, they have some iPhone cases.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now on the Armadillo Tech side. Yeah, they do. But Schnell, no, he's Android strong.
Okay.
Android phone, yeah. It takes time. I just try to catch up for the flagship what's upcoming.
Mhm.
Right.
iPhones would make you more money?
It depends.
Yeah.
It depends. Android makes more money
Okay.
Really?
because the most of people I know, we just love the Android, right?
Yeah, Leo.
Yeah.
iPhone bored me a lot. So what you going to look for?
Tell Carl. Tell Will. Tell me.
Well, you're making me bored as well, Will.
Man,
Oh, man.
he's gone
That's
too
why,
deep.
that's why I think I live in the ideal world. I always have an Android and an iPhone with me at all times.
And he can't juggle two phones, man. I don't know, man. I'm telling you, I don't know, Carl. You know, we made a bet, Will and I, right?
Yeah.
You around for that? Yeah. So I'm going to win again. I'm going to get another burger.
Mike's going to lose.
No.
Yeah, Carl, they made a new bet tonight that will have another Android phone before July 1st.
I got 4 months, Mike. That's easy.
Yep.
That's easy.
Yeah. Hey, anyone gonna pick up any phone on the new unpacked from Samsung?
Unless the deals are nice, no. The price showing are
price
I'll have to get rid of some phones, and I don't want to get rid of what I have right now.
Yeah, same here. I'll probably pick up one of the new Moto phones.
Yeah, about the Moto phones, about the only thing, and then I don't know. I'll still have to get rid of something to get the Moto phone, probably.
Yeah, Samsung's prices are a little outrageous.
I mean, unless I know they throw in great deals, but I don't know.
Yeah, but look, even if they give you $650 off, you're still like, if you want to get the what is it, the what's it called, the Ultra or whatever, it's still going to be
the Ultra is
$700.
If you get $650 off, you'll still be paying double you would for a Motorola.
Yeah. And that's not even telling you what storage size you'll get. Hopefully they start with like 128.
No, 256.
You think so? So you think the top will be a terabyte?
Oh, the 512.
So if they start at 256, so the terabyte will be the top.
Yeah,
terabyte is the option, but I say 512.
So you think they're going to start with 512?
Yeah.
Nah, I think they're going to start with 256.
I agree with Will. funny.
I mean 128. I mean 128.
You think
They might
128?
start with 128, 256, and then
Yeah,
512.
tech free needs. I agree with you. The prices are ridiculous, but you know what?
Okay.
Oh, every time.
No, but
every-
listen, Mike. This is why I think
It's not good.
they're ridiculous
like
with their
sleep.
prices.
I like the phone.
What's that, Carl?
Who the fuck keeping calling me?
Who's calling you?
I think
Don't they
I
know
think-
that you're on?
I think Samsung is crazy for their prices because of how cheap Apple made the iPhone 11
I agree.
and the Pixel 4 and all those other phones that are coming out that are going to be cheap. I think Samsung is crazy.
The 10e is in that same price range, and that's Samsung.
Yeah, that's why either these prices are wrong or Samsung's crazy.
Yeah, well, yeah, one or the other.
If the lowest price is $1,000 and they're letting Apple undercut them by $300 or whatever, that's
I agree.
Well,
even because you can get the iPhone 11. I think it's $256 for $850.
Yep.
I want to know, Carl, you getting the NES, the new S20s? Are you getting one? Carl, hello, you there? Carl stuck in traffic.
I think he can't hear us.
I think he does. Carl?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
He can't hear us anymore.
Carl.
I don't think he probably is going to get it, Mike. He's got to try with I know he's got dummies.
I'm hearing a lot of echo. I'm hearing a lot of echo.
Is the echo gone?
Yeah, now the echo's gone.
It might be Carl.
Okay.
I just muted his mic, so maybe it was him.
Yeah, I think you probably need to let him go because he can't hear us at all. I know that.
He was. Somebody kept calling him.
Yeah, somebody called him. I wanted to ask him, is he going to get one? I wanted to know will he get one or what? Any word from LG? Any word on the G9? Is it going to be a G9 this year?
Mike,
Is it going to be an LG phone at all?
Who cares about LG, Mike?
Well, we're just talking about phone releases in general. Give them a break. Bad enough. Bad enough with HTC. You look at the phones, you can't buy one now.
Who gets HTC too? I mean, it's kind of the same thing, isn't it?
Who? HTC?
I know. Who? I know.
Wow. I remember when HTC was great for Android.
Yes, it was.
That was my phone, the HTC M8. Oh man, I like that phone.
Carl, where'd you go, man?
He's still there, but he's not. Like I can see him. I just took him out the thing.
Oh, you took him out?
Yeah, but he's there. You can tell he's not even. He must have like.
So it didn't matter.
Yeah.
All right, Will. You don't want to do this.
That real long story? No, that's too long.
Okay. All right.
But
what else you got?
I don't know. I'm about to find something else right now since we're done so early. Oh, you know what? I was gonna put this one in there. It's long though. The Motorola Razr review.
Oh, well, you want to put it in there? Feel free. We can always.
It's a very Motorola night here. Are you trying to tell me something?
Yeah,
Are you trying to tell me is that your next phone?
Oh yeah, that's the one. I'm gonna lose lunch for the Motorola for the Motorola Razr. on Verizon too.
I think he clicked himself out.
All right, we'll wait for you to come back because now.
What was it? I don't even know. Do we have the story in there?
Did you insult him when he said, "Is that your next phone?" Is that?
Yeah, I'm out of here.
Now, you got insulted and left because he said,
Oh my God, this is crazy.
Now, are you putting in another phone, another story, or not?
Yeah, I'm trying. I got to get it. That's what I was looking for the story.
He's saying LG G9 or V60 coming out.
V60. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that would make sense. Okay.
What was the last phone LG? Oh, the G8, right?
Yeah, no, the V series, or the V50.
The V50.
Yeah,
no, but their latest phone is the G8.
Oh no, they had the G8X. That was
the folding phone.
Yeah,
I have to say, because it seems like I hadn't seen a phone from LG in a minute.
Well, the G8X is only what, 5 months ago, something like that.
Yeah.
But I guess LG didn't really promote it or nothing, right?
Well, I don't think they ever released
it. They were pushing 5G.
I don't think it was official for the US. That's what I think.
What? The folding one?
The G8X.
No, that was I thought AT&T had it. Because remember, Will, you were looking at it?
Yeah, right. AT&T did have it. Yeah,
you're right.
All right, I added it in there. It's at the bottom.
Okay. Okay. All right, now we're going to do this. We'll each read a part of it. Is that how we're going to work it?
Yeah, I guess.
Where is it in the
bottom?
It's at the bottom already. Yeah, I already read it.
You see it? I got it from Android Central. All right.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Who's going to read first?
Hold on.
He's back.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's all right.
All right, hold on. I'll be right back.
All right. All right. Should I start reading this, Mike?
Go ahead. Please do.
Right. This is on Android Central. It's the Motorola Razr review. As a dull razor blade. Wow. Too many compromises for too much money. This is the hardest review I've ever written. We're at the beginning of the foldable era, and we've already seen one foldable go through some questionable times, although Samsung was able to rectify the issues with the Galaxy Fold. When Motorola revealed the 2020 Razr back in November, the world, along with I, stood up and took notice. Motorola was back, challenging at the top of the industry and bringing back the legends in a big way. It's hard to emphasize just how much interest there has been in the Razr. Motorola itself pushed back the launch as they couldn't make enough to meet the demand. And even now, shipping dates are several weeks out. The first question everyone asks when they see my Galaxy Fold is whether it's the new Razr. The Motorola Razr is probably the most anticipated Motorola phone in a long time. It's a shame that the companies are large, the compromises are large, the price is too high, and ultimately it fell short of my expectations. There it is at a glance, but I'm not going to read that part. I'll just go on.
14.
Motorola Razr packs the wow factor. There's no other way to put it. The Motorola Razr is the best designed phone on the market right now. To make a phone that is super thin when unfolded and keep the essence of the original Razr is no mean feat. While I've been using the Razr out in public, more than one person has stopped and asked me about it. It garners attention easily and goes some ways to explain why. It captures the imagination of people around the world. Since I first laid eyes on the Razr, I've loved it. It's so small when folded, it's almost like having a modern pager, except instead of a small non-interactive screen, you have the peak display, which lets you sort through notifications at a glance. The buttons on the right-hand side are small, making them hard to press, which adds to the feeling of a tool for filtering information rather than actively communicating. When you do want to dive into a notification, you simply flip it open. If there's a call coming in, this can automatically answer the call, and like the original Razr, you can also flip it shut to end the call. There's a particularly satisfying feeling when you do this after a spam call, I'm sure. Although the deep integration of Google features and number lookups mean it often identifies them as spam before you answer the call. Mike, you want to take over?
Wait a minute, let me pick up. Sorry. I was looking at some of the comments and stuff. What line were you at? I see. Wait.
It's your notification.
Okay. I just found. Okay. If your notifications is more than the traditional kind, the action you can take are in line with those you'll find on a smartwatch. Depending on the app, you can use quick triage.
You can quickly use quickly triage. What?
Is that the right word?
Yeah,
Triage?
it's right. Yeah.
By achieving and making as read or reply using canned responses or your voice. Unfortunately, this is only works in some apps, and unlike the Galaxy Fold, if you're reading a notification and open the display, it won't take you straight into the app.
Yeah, that sucks.
The majority of the technology of the Razr is packed in the base, i.e. the bottom part of the phone, and you hold it in your hand, which means the Razr is bottom heavy and runs a lot warmer than the top half, which says mostly cool, which stays mostly cool even during intense gaming. The bottom part can get warm, but not hot enough to be a concern. The back of the Razr is quite slippery, while the phone is perfect width, it's a little too tall when unfolded. I've got large hands, and even I struggle with the gymnastics required to reach the top of the screen while using it one hand. You'll definitely want a case on it. Then one occasion, I've almost dropped it, and it's only a matter of time until I drop it. Good. I wanted to see who wrote this.
The Motorola Razr display is both good and bad. Should you drop it, I have my doubts that the display would be able to survive more than a light impact. Out of the box, the hinge, which is rumored to be made from plastic, made a light creaking sound just as you started folding the screen. After 6 days of use, the phone now makes an audible creaking sound as you're opening or closing the screen, and a recent test revealed it may stop folding properly just after 28,000 folds. If that single test is indicative, that means the hinge and folding experience will last between 9 and 12 months. And even though the screen worked fine after the test, this is a concerning possibility. While they feature different designs, my Galaxy Fold barely makes a sound after 2 months of using it as my main phone. Galaxy Fold sets an expectation for me around the display in terms of durability and usability, and the Motorola Razr falls short of that mark. Then they got pictures of people look like overfolding the phone from Twitter.
Oh, that sounds really bad.
Motorola recently said bumps and lumps on the screen are normal, and while they're not really visible, you can definitely feel them when you run your finger over the display. Especially in gaming, it's somewhat similar to the difference you feel when you have a small bubble in the screen protector. It hasn't impacted the experience of using the display yet, but just after a few days, it gives me huge cause for concern. Where are we at?
Let me know when you want me to take it.
Beyond the flexible nature, the rest of the screen is similar to that of previous Motorola phones. It lacks the punchiness or peak brightness of a Samsung phone and opts for a more neutral profile versus vividly displaying colors like other displays. Outdoor visibility is below average, and while there were a few issues with ghosting at first, these seem to have been resolved. Of course, it's if it's just for notifications, you likely won't need to use the main display thanks to a small grayscale peak display on the front. It's grown on me as a way of triaging notifications, and I like how it displays a lot of caller information, such as business name or whether it's a spam call when an unknown number calls you. Then they show you the display. To view a notification, you simply press and hold the icon at the bottom of the peak display. From here, you can take several actions, which depend on the app. Unfortunately, I've found that it's far too easy to accidentally swipe away a notification, especially when trying to scroll through the panes of icons on the front display. As useful as the peak display is, I wish it could do more. The huge battery life difference between using the front and main display means more functionality, and the peak display could lead to a better overall battery experience. More on that below. The Motorola Razr battery is a disappointment. The Motorola Razr features two batteries, which Motorola claims make up a total capacity of 2,510 milliamps. A recent breakdown on YouTube revealed a slightly lower capacity at 2,380. Lying, but regardless of which is accurate, there's no denying physics, and a smaller battery capacity means less battery life. Yeah, these battery numbers are pretty bad.
And they look terrible.
One of my biggest concerns in buying the Razr was the battery life. I need a phone to last me at least a full day of usage, including hours of usage as my navigation, communication, and entertainment tool. Battery sizes above 3,500 or even 4,000 milliamp have become the norm for devices I use. I can usually eke out more than a day of usage, including at least 6 hours of screen on time. The Motorola Razr fails to live up to these expectations. During the course of the past week, I've found it lasts for an average of 12 to 14 hours on a single charge, especially when I'm relying on mobile data, which uses the eSIM in the phone on Verizon's network. This period of usage usually results in around 4 hours of screen on time. This battery life is on par with the Pixel 4, which is to say it's not very good.
Yeah.
Of course, it depends on how you use the phone and what your expectations are. When I prioritize scrolling notifications, etc., via the camera, which generally remains on, I can get 7 hours of screen on time with a full day of usage. If you primarily use the main display, which is likely given the limited functionality of the peak display, this drops considerably.
Again, they look terrible.
The Razr does ship with an 18-watt turbo power charger, meaning you can top up the battery pretty quickly. It takes around 90 minutes to charge the Motorola Razr, which actually isn't that fast considering the smaller battery size.
Yeah.
But this charging speed is likely regulated to keep the phone from overheating during charging. Ultimately, the Moto Razr battery size means it has a lower potential maximum battery life compared to other phones, regardless of how you use it. If you're willing to compromise and can access a charger throughout the day, it may be perfectly fine for you. However, for me, the battery isn't good enough that I would want to rely on the Motorola Razr in an emergency. All right, George, you got it?
All right, yeah. The Razr camera just isn't good enough. I also wouldn't rely on the Motorola Razr as a camera phone during a vacation or at any point. There's a single 16-megapixel lens, meaning we're missing the telephoto and ultra-wide lenses that have become standard on smartphones. Granted, it's a thin phone with unique design constraints, but even the regular lens fails to meet the mark. Considering the rumored Galaxy Z Flip has a dual camera, Motorola's steadfastness on sticking to the iconic Razr design means they ultimately borrowed the original Razr's core camera. For some reason, my iPhone is talking to me. The main camera features a 16-megapixel sensor with an f1.7 aperture, 1.22 pixel size, and dual pixel phase detection autofocus. On paper, this sensor should be fairly capable of taking usable low-light photos. Should have no problems focusing and should result in images with enough detail. In practice, the camera does almost exactly the opposite. That sounds terrible. Images are very soft, often lacking in detail, and especially in low light, it's hit and miss whether the image will be usable. The camera reminds me of smartphone cameras about 4 years ago, wow, and is a shining example of the mantra that's just adding good hardware doesn't result in a good camera. Motorola isn't known for its camera prowess, but the Razr definitely disappoints. Beyond the clarity and detail issues, low-light performance is particularly woeful. Regardless of whether you're using the main camera included when folded over to face you for selfies or the actual selfie camera, the Motorola Razr struggles to focus. If you're using the main camera folded over and want to take a selfie, the selfie light fires up and blinds whoever's in the photo. It then takes around 30 seconds to focus and take a photo, by which time you've inevitably moved. Similarly, the selfie camera, which lights up the whole screen in low light conditions, proceeds to blind you over 30 to 60 seconds and still takes a bad photo. Considering how even a $500 phone usually has a good camera, there's no excuse for the Motorola Razr camera being so poor. This sounds really terrible. The Motorola Razr has been great. That's true. The trade-offs are most apparent when you consider the specs on the Motorola Razr and how they compare to the removed Galaxy Z Flip and the Samsung Galaxy Fold. The only one that's a direct competitor is Samsung's clamshell foldable, which we don't know all the details on, and is expected to launch at around $1,400. Here's a comparison between the two with specs. I'm not going to go through that.
I don't know. That Motorola Razr doesn't sound too.
No, for $1,500, it sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try and finish up. When you look at the Motorola Razr, no,
there's more.
In the context of other foldable devices, it's hard to comprehend the overall value proposition at all. Yes, it is. Yes, it features the nicest design on a phone in a long time, and Samsung's rumored Z Flip looks chunky by comparison, but both of Samsung's foldables are far ahead in terms of overall technology and package they offer. Wow. The Razr is definitely slim when unfolded. Looking at the price tag, I would have liked Motorola to have added much more. If the Razr was priced under $1,000, it would offer a much higher value. But a mid-range processor, average battery life, and a poor camera are huge compromises for what is still a $1,500 phone. Will, you want to take it?
All right. The Razr performance is fluid after a few tweaks. These mid-range specs don't have a huge effect on day-to-day usage, but there are enough niggles that make you know it's not a flagship experience. For example, there are 4 different display size options which control the icon size and density of information on the screen. The Motorola Razr ships with the second lowest of the 4 notches selected. Keeping it at this setting or on the lowest, the most dense setting means that the phone sometimes struggles when you've got a lot of apps running or in heavy gaming. Increase the display size to either of the top 2 settings and it runs smoother, but this isn't the default option. When using mobile data, you also find that the data is slower than on other devices. And although not a scientific test, it seems to have a weaker radio than the iPhone 11 Pro. On more than one occasion, the Razr has been noticeably slower at performing data tasks than the iPhone, despite both using a Verizon eSIM. One of the most satisfying things about the Razr is being able to flick the phone open to answer a call and flick it closed to end it. For the most part, call quality is more than acceptable on the Razr, although the relatively quiet loudspeaker means you may miss a few calls. This phone is terrible. For the most part, there's nothing noteworthy in the Razr's performance. 6 gigs of RAM is fine for all tasks. The Snapdragon 710 delivers a fairly decent performance, and the Adreno 616 can handle most games. It doesn't have the flagship specs of its rival foldables, but it mostly delivers in day-to-day usage. Motorola's software is made for foldables. When it announced the Razr, Motorola said it ran Android 9 Pie. Wow, but planned to upgrade to Android 10. Then it announced that it would ship with Android 10 out the box. After all that, it still runs Android Pie.
Oh my God!
Motorola says it's planning a rapid update to Android 10 for the Razr, but given the company's spotty update history, it might be a bit of a wait.
Yeah.
Beyond the actual platform, if you used a Motorola phone in the past, you'll be comfortable using the Motorola Razr. And if you use the original Razr, Motorola has a special homage to you. The Razr comes equipped with an almost stock Android experience, albeit the Verizon exclusivity in the US means it does have several Verizon apps preloaded. These include the Message Plus app, which is a duplicate of Google's own messaging app.
I hate that app.
And constantly asks to be set as the default messaging app. Like most Motorola phones, the Razr uses the default Google apps for just about everything. Beyond the core experience, the majority of Motorola's additions and tweaks are housed in the Moto app. These include Moto Actions and Moto Display for the peak display. The former brings the gestures we've become accustomed to from other Motorola phones, including a double twist to launch the camera and a double chop to activate or deactivate the flashlight. Both of these actions feel completely natural on the Razr, especially when the screen is folded over and the main camera is facing you ready to take a selfie. With the Galaxy Fold, I said it felt like 10 years of Samsung's multitasking prowess had been leading to that form factor. With the Razr, I feel like the Moto Actions were made for the Razr and other foldable displays. Of course, Motorola pays homage to the original Razr by taking you back quite literally. In the quick settings tile, you'll find the retro Razr feature, which does what it says. It makes the 2020 Razr look and act like the original. Oh my god. You see that? You see the picture, Mike?
Yeah, I saw the picture of the guy holding up what
You see it? It looks like the old phone. Once this feature is launched, the bottom half of the screen displays the iconic T9 keypad of the original Razr, while the top half displays the on-screen UI. There's no way to cheat and touch the icons here. You'll have to navigate with the keypad, use the shortcuts for messaging, settings, Bluetooth, etc. And there's no way to customize any of them. Overall, this is more of an homage than a useful feature, as after using it briefly for the novelty factor, you'll forget it exists. Verdict: I'm returning the Motorola Razr. As you might have surmised, the Motorola fails to deliver the experience I'm looking for. This ultimately comes down to the price tag. I spent $2,000 on the Galaxy Fold and am not afraid to spend money on first-generation foldable devices. But the overall experience offered by the Motorola Razr means I can't justify the $1,500 price tag. And Motorola delivered a camera that was only limited by its lack of hardware or a battery that could handle everything I can throw at it, or even a display that didn't creak. If the Razr was a little bit better in some of these areas, it would be possible to justify keeping it. Instead, it falls short of offering the close shave I was looking for, which is a huge shame, as I love the form factor and design. It's by far one of the best looking phones on the market today. I really hope Motorola launches another Razr later this year or next with some of these concerns addressed. If they can deliver a Razr 2 that offers the premium experience I'm looking for, then I'll be the first to buy it. A 2.5 out of 5.
Yep. That's bad.
Wow.
Yeah, that is.
Overall, it sounds to me like the peak display is the best thing about the phone, and everything else falls short in multiple ways. Don't you guys get the same impression?
I'm sorry. What's that, George? I was distracted for a moment. What's this?
To me, like the peak display is the best thing about the phone, and everything else falls short.
Yeah, well, the whole it's they're using the Razr name. They're using the the iconic folding. What it used to be. Yeah, and they did their best. They did their best to bring it back. What it was, but in the end of it all, I think it's just a thing that it's a halo. It's a halo piece. Okay, it's trying to bring eyeballs back to Motorola. And it's part of their plan. That's why we have this release of those two phones today. Now I mentioned about a flagship coming. It's generating talk. We're here talking about it now. You know what I mean? So I think it's not for everybody. I want to know, Carl.
Nobody.
Is Carl muted?
Oh,
Carl, can you hear?
Oh my.
Yeah.
Hey, Carl, did you have the Samsung Fold? Do you have that? Or am I mistaken? You still have it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you to this? I mean, I know we're talking Motorola, but your Samsung Fold. Do you find it? What do you find? Do you find useful, or is it just something that was just like I got to try it out?
It's just something I gotta try it out.
Okay. And you still own it? You still have it today?
Yeah, but I didn't carry it right now.
No.
I'm not carrying it right now.
That's it. Okay.
But you still own it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lovely phone. To me, it's a lovely phone. But since the Razr come back, I know the phone's dead. You fold it, do it. See, the durability gonna be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy Max, the famous Max, the young kids, he make a calculation, says the fold, if you fold it like 100 times a day, the fold only work for 207 days. 270 days. It broke.
Wait a minute, the Galaxy Fold will only last how many days?
No. It's the Motorola Razr.
Oh, the Motorola phone. Oh, okay.
The Galaxy Fold remains there forever. I love it, but they will never be sell well, because the durability. Like things happen. When iPhone come out and everything stuff come out, Motorola went bankruptcy because they do the big phones. It broke, man.
Yeah.
But to me, this whole Razr, as beautiful as it is and as exciting as the idea, the thing sounds extremely disappointing, especially for $1,500.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
And all the cheap Moto phones take pretty good pictures. This thing sounds like it can't even come close to them.
No.
It's it's. I mean, it's. I don't know. Nobody's gonna buy it.
What was Six had a comment in here earlier? Let me see about the flex. There's something he called it hashtag for the flex.
You're just gonna get it just so that you can show off. Yeah.
I so agree with that comment, or those comments that people just got it for. I mean, us techies will get it.
Because you want it. No,
I
don't even think tech people are gonna buy it.
Well, there was a guy. Wait a minute. Let's talk about that guy.
If they
that
buy
reporter
it,
just bought how much?
Almost
$5,000 in phone right there. What?
I don't think many techers are going to buy that phone after reading this review.
They're gonna buy it because they want to be the one with the review, but nobody's gonna buy it thinking that they're getting a good phone. If the battery's that small, they even made it sound like Motorola lied about the size of the battery.
The camera's terrible.
They said the battery was 2,500, and when they opened it up, it's 23.
Yeah, and if they do buy it, they're going to do just like this side. They're going to return it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's buying that. Verizon is going to have to push it and be giving them away for free in a couple months or something.
And is it true? Is it true that they announced the folding phone from Samsung? Is that a done deal? This
the Z
flip
Flip?
phone?
I think so. Yeah, I think they'll be showing it next week, right?
But nobody knows the price yet. Don't forget.
Yeah, everybody's saying 1,400, 1,500.
Hey, nobody knows for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm extremely disappointed with that review.
I wasn't gonna get it anyway, but it's on Verizon. It's on Verizon, so that's like
terrible. It sounds like nobody.
Yeah, it's on Verizon.
Even this Galaxy Flip, this Flip has got a Z Flip has got a 855 plus. Wow,
right.
that's something.
Yeah, that's a whole lot better than the mid-range processor.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm glad you threw that in. That was very educational for me.
Yeah, that was a long read, but
yeah.
I don't know, George. This is like that thing said. I don't know. Y'all don't like him, that elusive tech guy, but he was just like the folding phones. They just fold. I mean, besides Microsoft, unless they do something different, but for the most part,
people will have it, and this one sounds like not even close.
Yeah, but I think it's not gonna. The way to do it is gonna have to be to do it like the Axon, whatever.
On that, yeah.
They're gonna have to. You gotta put the thing in the middle so that it can be two separate screens.
I agree, and that's why Microsoft is going to be the one to come out with a great phone.
Yeah, because otherwise, it's you can't do nothing with it. It's not durable at all. Like there's too many problems. Bubbles on the screen. Nobody wants to spend $1,500 and then it looks ugly.
Jason says here, I see that I heard the Z Flip is going to be an AT&T exclusive. Wow.
They can keep that as well. Then Will can get it.
I'm not an AT&T.
No, he's on Visible.
$25 a month.
I wanted earlier on, Carl, but then he had technical difficulties. I want to know, Carl. We were talking about new phones and getting phones. Are you looking at the S10, S20 at all?
I actually love my Note 10 Plus, but I'm a case maker. I have to get all the components. So.
You will be getting that.
I'm really looking to the Fold 2, the second generation of the Galaxy Fold.
Fold, yeah.
Okay.
It should be good.
So, are you going to have the S20?
Are you getting on the pre-order?
Yeah, he said he's going to get the S20.
Okay.
Here's my Carl. You have the Fold, right? It's
Which
not.
phone?
You have the Galaxy Fold.
Yeah, he has the Fold. Yeah.
My thing is like every time you have to do something on the phone, you got to fold it open, right? That don't get annoying. Yes. It's not annoying. Like
you
if you
don't
want
have
to make
to.
a
You
call,
can use the
gotta
front
flip it over.
screen. You can use the front screen, but the front screen is very tiny, teeny, and you might have big fingers. You know, I'm 6'4", so I have huge hands.
Yeah.
No, I'm 5'9". Okay, but still, the front screen is very tiny, teeny. You will get used to it, but to me, it's just not as good as we thought.
So,
And everybody says that about the front screen, you know.
Yeah.
just curious, what phone are you using right now? Oh, is this the Note you're on?
Note 10 Plus, Pixel
Right.
4 XL, and iPhone 10.
Look at him. Look at him, Will. He's carrying 3 phones.
He doesn't want to make the cases for
You wanna-
iPhone, but he
come
knows the
on.
iPhone is the best.
Come on, he's got the flex,
Mike,
dude.
Mike, ask him about his AirPods.
About his AirPods. What happened to his AirPods? Carl, what happened to your AirPods?
I love my AirPods.
He lost it. He was on Twitter one morning at like 2 a.m. and left it in the airport or something.
No. I lost my DJI, the camera.
That's what it is. You lost your
okay.
camera on the airplane. Yeah. What do you have? You have the AirPods Pro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he was on Twitter that morning and he was like, I lost my camera. And
He lost his the camera to his DJI.
Yeah,
It's DJI.
Yeah, that sucks. Mike's gonna get a Moto. What's it called? Z. What's it called? A Moto Z Razr or whatever.
No, I ain't getting a Razr. No.
The Moto G Stylo.
The Moto G Stylo.
That's what
Mike, maybe it's just me.
You like
Moto
the G Stylo?
Yeah.
Mike's gonna get that.
Here goes another phone that didn't get leaked out. Anybody see this coming? This phone?
What phone?
The Stylo.
The Stylo one?
I didn't see it at all.
Right, that's what I mean. Where did it come from? You know, all of a sudden.
When I saw Motorola, I skipped over it.
I think they're doing a great thing.
Mike, when the leaks were coming and it said Motorola, I turned the page.
I agree with Mike. Nobody saw this coming, so I think it's great.
Yeah, for once, you know. You know, here's the S20 with all kinds of leaks. You know what I mean? There's no surprise there.
Or like the Pixel that you know everything about it the day it's announced. You know.
Yeah,
that's because they want to build up the hype.
I agree. But I think Moto did a good job here, and hopefully Mike and I will both get and be happy with it. That's
Motorola knows there's no hype.
Well,
Motorola needs to change their software. I think they gotta do something else.
But everybody loves that it's so.
Yeah, but I mean,
Motorola
that was good.
will never come back, you guys.
That was good, George. That was good like 7 years ago. But now they can't. No, because they can't. Well, you know what? That makes that bad now. Because you got the Pixel 3a out. So if you want stock Android, you can get it for $400 and you have a better camera.
You have a point, but now the Stylo, they have something that other people don't have, at least.
What, the stylus? That's what I'm saying. You can go use your finger. I wouldn't want a stylus.
For $300 rather than.
But George, to buy a stylus, to have a stylus and get a worse camera, or get a Pixel 3a and have a better camera.
Not bad. I mean, yes, they're not iPhones and Galaxies, but they're not bad cameras.
But it's not even a Pixel 3a.
Well, we'll see.
It's not. Oh man, need a case for Note 10.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I just went to the site and just I wanted to make sure that's what he's got. And he's got this wallet too. The wallet.
Carl's cases are good, man. Carl makes good cases.
Yeah.
Carl, we were talking about you earlier. Me and Mike were talking about your case earlier. I was telling him you make good cases.
Yeah.
No. Hey, I got a topic. So,
what's up?
What do you think about a case maker or any kind of company, the relationship between company and YouTuber?
Well, depends if the YouTuber can be honest about reviewing the product. If he can, that's okay, right?
Well, It's funny too. Will and I were just talking about in my 45 minute drive home. Where we will about this.
Yeah.
Carl, you got a unique way of doing this, and which is it's awesome because you actually involve yourself with the YouTubers and the tech community, and we're your advertising. You know, you give us samples, which is great, and then in turn we try them out, and we provide feedback to you, and you listen. You know, so,
but the unique thing about you, Carl, is you're the only one that actively interacts with us.
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
Companies do that I know.
Yeah, without a doubt. So you need it. You don't stop what you're doing because nobody else is doing it. Because
it's not a
faceless. You know what I mean?
It's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to think about one thing. I have a beef with a very tiny, teeny YouTuber. I mean, serious beef.
Nope.
Very bad. The guy's channel is Brooke Diesel Tech.
I never even heard of
things like that. Last year, when I just launched my Note 10 Plus cases, the dude came up and he was pretty nice and gentle. He asked me, "Can I review that?" I said, "Sure." I said, "Sure, do whatever you want. You know, just be unbiased. That's it." He said, "All right." Then I found out she didn't talk to me when she received the cases. She didn't talk to me, and she complained, "Oh, I love UH. I love Autobox so much. Armadillo case it's a trash."
Really?
Yeah, but it's okay. You know, when there may be something happen. So I DM the dude, Brooke Diesel, BROCK Diesel Tech. I said, "Dude, what happened?" He said the kickstand broke. It happens, you know, because if you give it too much force, you will broke. I said, all right, I'm sorry for that. And then I just tell him that I explained what happened, and then I show him how to do that. I send him a replacement. I mean, actually, a lot of cases. I say something, blah, blah, blah. I tell him what happened. Again, I find it again. He say, "Ooh, subcase is much better than Armadillo Tech. Armadillo Tech is a trash." And I asked the dude, "Dude, what happened to you?" I said, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "If you think that's wrong, it's okay." I explain everything to you. And me and subcase, we are very similar. What's the difference? Then he just went off. I said, "Okay." I said, "Cut the shit, man. We just walk our own path, you know?"
Yeah.
I don't want to work with you. Back then, he has only like 100 subs and get 4 or 5 free cases from me. And he didn't like my products. It happened, so it's okay. And he never tried to talk to me before he cursed on the public, you know? I said, even my products is a trash. You said it once, then I reach out to you. I explain everything, send you another batch. You still say the shit. I mean, that's so ugly, you know? Why you don't even try to talk to me before see what I'm going to explain to you?
Well, that's where you got to cut the guy off, and that's the end of that, I think.
Yes.
I never even heard of him.
Yeah. I just unfollow him. And you know what? Whenever he had a chance, he says something negative on me and me personally and my products. Really? And he threatened me 2 days ago, say he has a video coming up about how I'm fooling everyone. I said, "What the fuck, man? Nobody follow you. Why you gonna follow?
Where's this guy coming from, man?"
It sounds like jealousy.
No, I said, "What's wrong?"
Mike, what's his channel? I want to find this guy. This is crazy.
BROCK, Brooke Diesel Tech.
Sounds bad. Sounds like bad news all the way around.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I said, "What's wrong with you, dude? Shit. You never know."
Oh, he's got 300 subscribers. Oh my
Yeah, I
God.
said, what's wrong, man?
Anybody that uses your case though, you make like that's what I was telling Mike. I said I don't even know how you make money because your cases are like they're so good. You know what I mean? You really make a good case, man.
I'm trying, man,
I
but
know if somebody
but you
tells you
piss
they
me
want
off. He
somebody
just
tell you
keeps
they
saying
want
shit on me.
you'll go make a design for women. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah,
really
yeah.
you make good cases. I
He-
don't know what
he
his
keep-
problem was.
Okay, he kept saying shit on me, and then he said he gonna do something worse. I said, what the fuck, man? What the heck you gonna do?
What's he gonna do worse over YouTube?
That's crazy, man. I
You
said,
gave him
he said he's
things.
going to make a video and come to me, and he got whatever chance he has to,
Oh my
he got whatever chance he has to say some shit about me. I said, am I that annoying people? You know, I just fuck up with people. I said, what's wrong with you, man?
Not to any of us, but I guess there's something wrong with him. It sounds like.
Yeah, something's wrong with that guy, man.
There may be something wrong with me, but we never know, guys.
But you know,
No, I
what
think
was
it's
he here
more
to? You know. Oh, okay.
That's crazy. Nah, it's not. It's
Yeah.
not you.
No, it's
You know,
definitely not.
just cut that guy off, man.
All right, we ready to wrap it up?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
because what's the name? Team 100's coming on in any minute now.
Carl,
Mike,
Team 100 on
Yeah,
I
I'll
think
be there.
We're on
Yeah,
your channel next week, right, Mike?
What's that, sir?
We're on your channel next week, right?
Yes, we are.
All right, so everybody tune in for Simply Your Device next Friday. And we want to thank everybody who came in tonight, especially Carl for coming in. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you, Carl. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you,
Carl.
guys.
For the case for Mike's S20 Ultra.
Carl, my wife loves the case I got from you, so thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Really nice. So
thank you, guys.
all right.
All right, y'all. Thanks everybody for coming.
I'll be tweeting out. Try and get the stories going and get the links out and all. All right, everybody.
And now that my move is mostly accomplished, I'll finally make a video tomorrow. So.
All right, okay.
We're back, everybody. We're back in our grooves, right? Right, guys. New job, new old job. George is settling in. Carl's doing his case thing. Jerome is back in Chicago. Look out.
And we're making videos by some miracle.
Yeah. So thanks everybody stopping in. Thanks, Casey, for coming by. It was great to have you around.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Good night.
See ya.
See you.